Good afternoon, everyone. We'll wait a few more minutes as it's right after lunch. There's a couple more people we're anticipating will be joining us. So I'll start the presentation or start the office hours in about 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jonathan Lackritz. I'm a manager in the Communications Division of the California Public Utilities Commission. Thank you for joining us today for another in a series of office hours. This is about the rebuttal phase. Next slide, please. So here's our agenda for today. We'll do welcome and housekeeping, talk a little bit about how to use the Zoom interface. We'll then accept questions and hopefully provide answers. And then we'll wrap up with next steps and reminders. Next slide, please. So a little bit of a reminder about the office hours for, I think everyone here has attended previously, but for anyone who's new, it's an opportunity for you to ask your questions. We ask that you write your question in the chat and wait to be called upon. Keep yourself on mute until you've been called upon. We'll do a first round of questions, and then after everyone has had a chance, we may open it up for additional questions. If you have a follow-up on someone else's question, please write the question in the chat and wait to be called upon. And there's a diagram that shows you where the chat thing is. It's a little out of date now because actually, at least on mine, the chat is now sort of smack in the middle of the buttons on the bottom. Next slide, please. So today we're here as an opportunity for you to ask questions about the challenge process and the BEAD program in general. We cannot provide review or feedback on any specific evidence outside of the challenge process mechanism. The CPUC is required to follow the rules of the NTIA, National Telecommunications and Information Agency, which administers the BEAD program. Questions and answers from this meeting will later be posted in the FAQ on our website. We will record this session and post it on our website as well. Next slide, please. So now we're ready for questions. If you have a question, please put it in the chat and also raise your hand. Thank you. So for Pete and Mitzi, we're going to keep this webinar up for probably about another 10 minutes. But absent either of you having any questions, I don't anticipate anyone's going to be joining at this point in time, but kind of to make sure we've given adequate time in case anyone's having technical problems, we'll leave this up. And you can feel free to sit in silence with us. If you want to take off, that's fine, because there will be a recording made. Go ahead, Mitzi, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. I'm raising my hand. And last week, I think it was Clay, I had asked the question and Clay had said he was going to potentially submit an inquiry to the engineers, where I was saying it would be great to be able to look at all of the challenges from a map perspective instead of 1 point by 1 point. And, you know, it's just really for planning purposes. It'd be really a helpful tool, because I know there's a lot of data that you're compiling. It'd just be helpful to see what the landscape's looking like in areas, you know, trying to fill in all of the dots on the map, you know, for broadband for all. So I don't know where that has, if that has gone anywhere, but since no one's asking questions, I thought I would pop in, say hello, and see if that might be an option.
Sure, I'm glad that you're with us today. I think the short answer is that NTIA requires us to publish the challenge information at the end of the rebuttal phase. So that's when we'll be publishing that information about where we receive challenges and some basic information about the challenges. I don't anticipate at this point in time that the CPUC will be deviating from that requirement and sharing information about the challenges that have been received, unless it's for a specific ISP whose location has been challenged.
Okay, and then we'll be able to get those files, right? So we can integrate them like
Yes.
this CSV file. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I don't know exactly what the format of the files will be. I believe NTIA has specified the information we need to provide. So we're still, that's the next step in the process for us.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And for Kevin, who just joined us, it's question and answer time. There's so far we've only had one question from Mitzi, and we're going to keep the bridge up for about another 10 minutes to make sure that anyone who joins late has an opportunity to ask a question. But at this point, we don't have any pending questions. So if you want to depart, you can, but if you want to stay, you can stay. But I think I'm going to put myself on mute and just wait to see if anyone else shows up that has a question. Go ahead, Mitzi.
I just wanted to see how many challenges were received. I was curious. Is there a total tally?
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, it's about 3,300 challenges for somewhere north of 96,000 locations.
Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
Thank you. Just curious.
I hope you didn't have a pool on the number of challenges or locations we were going to receive.
No, and there won't be a test here or like a quiz. I was just wondering, you know, I've heard there have been staggering amounts in other states. So I was just curious what we ended up having here in California. So thank you. I'm sure 3,300 seems staggering to you guys, but I know other places had a lot more.
Yeah, I think we benefited from other states having gone ahead of us. So I think we lost our last potential participant. Do we want to wait to 120 or are we saying 115 is